Hello everyone, and I expect from class 10 that you all are preparing for your examination that is going to be held in February or March of 2021. So let's see, this is the rationalized syllabus that you have to study for your final examination. Here it has been given part A and part B. Only these two parts will come in your exam. You can see part A covers communication skills 2, then self management skill 2, then information and communication technology skills 2, entrepreneur skills 2, and green skill 2. These all the 5 chapters can fetch you 10% or 10 marks. Okay, and here it has been given for teachers that number of hours required for uh, all the classes. Okay, so 10 marks question will come from this 5 chapter, that is the employability or English part of your computer book, and 40 marks question come from these 4 chapters. That is, first one is digital documentation, that is MS Word or OpenOffice document, electronic spreadsheet, then we have database management system, and then web application and security. So only 4 chapters you have to study in computer part. So this 4 and 5 chapter will give you the total preparation for final examination. Now let's see what is in part C and part D. These two parts are also equally important because here in 40 marks and 10 marks in theory, you are going to get 50 marks, and another 50 marks out of 100 you are going to get in part C and part D. So part C is most important part. Here you are seeing practical work. The practical examination will be held in every school, and that will cover 15 marks, and then written test, whatever the periodic tests and semester test is being held in your school, that will cover 10 marks. And then here you get the marks for Viva voice, and it is 10 marks. So total 35 marks you are going to get in part C, that is practical work. And the last part, that is part D, project work and field visit. Here you have to prepare your practical files and student portfolio, and this will give 10 marks, and Viva voice here again will give you 5 marks. So a student here, teachers may give you the marks on practical notebook, and then practical test, then written test, and all that. So part C and part D are equally important. Here you are going to get 50 marks. So like this you get 100 marks in all. So this is the syllabus for 2021 examination, and now I am going to give you some question for hints question for this examination that is going to held after some time in your school internal exams. So I have written, I am going to explain you. First I am going to give you the questions, and then I will explain you. See, the first very question is, write in brief about advantages of a DBMS. Then question number 2 is, write 5 lines about the MS Access RDBMS. Then question number 3, explain the concept of foreign key. How is it different from candidate key? Question number 4. Differentiate between records, data, and fields. Question number 5. Write in brief about the data type property of a field. Question number 6. Explain any 3 data types available in MS Access. Then question number 7. What do you mean by data manipulation? What functions do DCL command carry out? Question number 8. Then question number 9. Explain the types of tab stop included in MS Word. Question number 10 is, what do you mean by indentation? How many types of indents are there in MS Word? Then question number 11. What do you know about header and footer in MS Word? Question number 12 is, differentiate between the toggle key and the sticky key. Very few questions I have given, not more questions. After 12 we have, I think, 3 more. Explain the types of tab stops included in MS Word. Then what is the use of clip art in MS Word? Question number 14 is, what is an operating system? Give name of some popular operating system. Then question number 15. What is meant by effective communication? Discuss. And after that there are some one word question answer that I will give you. I will explain you. So now let's see the 15 questions that I given you above. I am going to start from 1 and I will explain you one by one. If you have any problem in my explanation after my explanation, if you feel some question difficult, you may message me. I will give you the reply, or explain you again if you message me in comment section or in WhatsApp. So the question number 1 is, write in brief about advantages of a DBMS. So this question is very important for your final examination also. What are the advantages of DBMS? You know very well DBMS is database management software system or software. Okay, so DBMS, why DBMS? Why not written work or register maintain? What are the advantages that we are going to learn in this? So I have given you this answer. See, a DBMS is the software that allows user to define, create, maintain a database and provide controlled access to the data. It means that it is a software, nothing else. Here you get the benefit of creating, maintaining a database. What is database? You know very well, collection of table, and table is an organized collection. Means we organize the information or data in the database and provide controlled access to the database. So there are 4 things that we are doing here. We have written here. Our DBMS is software, first thing. Now here 4 things we are doing. It is used to define. It allows user to define, create, maintain database and provide controlled access. So the 4 thing, first one, it is software. Second one, we can create. Third one, we can maintain database, and fourth one, we can control the data in the database. So advantages is already given, but here some more advantages in a clear way. Following are the advantages of DBMS. It saves times and energy. Then second one, it provides the user with efficient and reliable method of data retrieval. So we can fetch the data, we can see the data very easily. So it is efficient and reliable. Reliable means faithful. So it is very faithful, it is very reliable to use. It do not do mistakes in computer, and it saves time and energy also. First one means to say very quickly we can enter the data, we can create the database, or we can access the data from the database. Then next advantage is it reduces data redundancy. What is redundancy? Copying of the data at many instances or many times is known as redundancy. So by storing our data in database, we cannot we have the access to the data from one place at different locations. So it data need not to be saved at many times, so it reduces data redundancy. And the next advantage is it increases the efficient speed and flexibility in searching and accessing information. So it is efficient, as already here said. Efficient means in very easy way, efficient, and speed, we can see the data very fast, and flexible, we can make it in different format like report, forms, and all that. And searching is become easy, and accessing information is also easy. So these are the benefit. And the next benefit is it makes it easy to share data. We can share the data with anyone very easily. It helps in keeping backup and recovery of the data also. So by the corruption of the computer or any device, we can have the backup that we have kept with us earlier. So it helps in keeping the backup and also help in recovering the data. Now let's see question number 2. Write 5 lines about the MS Access RDBMS. So we have to write about the MS Access RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So MS Access is the most popular and powerful RDBMS, which comes as an integral part of the MS Access suite. Actually, MS Office suite. MS Office suite is a package software, or MS Office suite, in which there are 7 softwares like MS Outlook, MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, then MS Access also, MS OneNote. This all comes in a packet or in a suite that is called MS Office suite. So MS Access provides the facility to break large information into a small part so that it becomes easy to access the information. MS Access is a database management system software, and it is relational database management software, and it have the facility to break the large information into small parts. We can divide it into a smaller part so that it become easy to access the information. Also, MS Access provides the flexibility to add, update, delete, and view the data by using forms, find and retrieve the data in desired way using queries, and print data in a specific layout using report. So these are the 4 things. You can see form, then queries, and then report. 3 things by which we can access the data or add, update, or delete and view the data. So these are the facility of MS Access. It has all the latest tools, and beside this there are some more tools that are required to control the data in the database. So it has all the latest tools and techniques to provide the latest and important facility to use it to its user. Okay, those who are using the MS Access, they can have all the latest tools and techniques that are important to have the access or control over the data in the database. So now let's see question number 3. Explain the concept of foreign key and how is it different from candidate key. So foreign key, you know very well, is uniquely defined field. A foreign key, here I am defining you again. A foreign key can be defined as an attribute or combination of attribute in a table whose value matches a primary key. So foreign key is different from primary key. About primary key, you know that it is a uniquely defined field, and a foreign key is an attribute or combination of attributes in a table whose value matches in some another table with the primary key. Why? Because to fetch the information from other table here in the second table. So the first table is primary, means with the help of primary key we matches the things in another table, and the other tables attributes or the group of attributes are known as foreign key. Now what is a candidate key? A candidate key can uniquely identify a database record. We can have one or multiple candidate key in a single table, out of which one is selected as the primary key. Here it is telling about, means in a single table, if you are defining a primary key and you are defining some more key to be uniquely defined, then it becomes a candidate key. So candidate key is also uniquely identify a database record, and here we can have one or multiple candidate key in a single table. Now let's see what are the differences between records, data and fields. The very first one, a record. A record is a complete set of information that belongs to a data item. Means to say, when we have this type of table, then the horizontal row, one complete row, this one is known as record, because here a single data item have the complete information from the different fields. Now what is data? Any real world things, character, text or numerical that become information to our database. Means whatever the things that we have in our real world and we know it, we can make the list of it and we can arrange the things that may be character or text or any numerical value that are called data. And it is important for database, it becomes information when it goes into the database, because here data is getting arranged. Now what is field? A field describes a particular attribute of the data item. So field is the thing which describes particular attribute of the data item. For example, a data item may have different fields. Now let's see question number 5. Write in brief about the data type property of a field. You know data type, that is text and then numerical, then date and time. So in relational database, tables consist of fields. These fields have its own set of properties which describe the characteristic and behavior of the data. A data type determines what type of data can be entered into the field. Means to say, a data type is a type of attribute, or we can say it's the property by which we set which type of data can be entered in a table. For example, if you set for numbers only, then you can't add text value or alphanumeric value. and if you set text, then it can have only text value. That is integer type, and then alphabetical type, then alphanumeric type. There are different types of data. Now let's see question number 6. Explain any 3 data type available in MS Word. So just we were talking about data, what data type, right, in brief about data type property. And now let's see what is data type. What are the 3 data types available in MS Access? The first one is numerical data type. Here we can have number, that this data type has stored numeric information that can be used for calculation. Here when you set the data type numeric, then it accepts number value or numeric value which can be used for doing calculation. It may consist byte, integer, long integer, decimal, single or double. So these are the different data type. Now let's see second data type, that is alphanumeric. Means here you can have text and number both. It is used to store text or a combination of text and numbers that does not require calculations such as addresses, phone number, etc. It also include text and memo. Here we can write number as well as alphabets together. Now what is date and time data type? In date and time data type, here you have to write E. Okay. In date and time data type, we can have different formats of dates and time. It is used to store date and time based on base data. It specifies a specific point of time, date and time of the day. It includes general data, long data, medium data. So this not data, it is date, general date. It means the data, different data types under this data type is, first one is general date, second one is long date, and third one is medium date. As we have for date, the same way we have for time, that is short date, long okay, here we have 4. Okay, long time, medium time and short time. Okay, three things for date and 3 things for time. So for date and time we have 3 different format, that is long, medium and short. So this was all question number 6. Now let's see question number 7. What do you mean by data manipulation? What is manipulation? Manipulation is modifying, to change the things. So data manipulation means modifying of data, that is inserting new data, updating the data, deleting the data, selecting and retrieving data from the database, Data manipulation is done with the help of SQL command. So there are some SQL commands, that is a structured query language command, by which we can do data manipulation, means changing in the data. Okay, now let's see question number 8. What function do the DCL commands carry out? So DCL command is also the SQL command. Let's see what is the full form of DCL and what it does. As the name suggests, DCL, that is data control language, carry out the function of protecting the data from its access or manipulation at different level. So DCL helps in protecting the document. It do not allow everyone to access or manipulate the data in the database. It helps in maintaining the right permissions, and security of the database. Here we have three things: rights, permission, and security of the database. So DCL is important for a database management system software. Now let's see question number 9. Explain types of tab stops included in MS Word. In MS Word, when you press the tab, it may stop in different way depending upon your setting. If you are not knowing the setting, you simply use MS Word and you do not think about it, you do not bother about it. But let's see what are the different tab stops. The type of tab stops included in MS Word are: the first one is left tab, and the symbol for this is this one, that is L type. Okay, it left align the set text at the tab stop, so it align the text whatever it is written in the typed in the MS document, MS Word, that is get aligned in the left and arranged. Now right tab is, the symbol for right tab is opposite L, and it brings it right align the text at the tab stop. So at the tab stop, it right align the text. And then center tab. What is center tab? Symbol for center tab is this one. It center the text around the tab stops. So around the tab stop, it center the text, means right in the middle of the paper or middle of the tab stop. Now decimal tab. Here we have symbol for decimal tab is this one. It is somewhat different from this one, center tab, because here you are not getting here point and here you are getting point. It is called decimal tab. This tab align the designed numeric value the left the decimal point. Okay, by using the decimal point, this tab align the decimal numbers. And the final one is bar tab. This one is known as bar tab. Symbol is given here. It draws a vertical line on the document. So it is used to draw vertical line in the document. Okay. Now let's see next question. Question number 10. What do you mean by indentation? And how many types of indents are there in MS Word? So indentation is the process of increasing or decreasing the space between the left and the right margin of the paragraph. For example, you can see I have left this much place here in the right side and this much place in the left side, and here I have started writing in this one is written in the we can say in the margin, and after margin I have started from here. So this space between answer and indentation, this space is known as indent space, or indentation is the process of increasing this space, this one between the 10 and whatever the distance here is, we can increase or decrease by the help of indentation. So there are 4 types of indents in MS Word, that is left indent, right indent, and the first line indent, and then hanging indent. You have to remember this only. Okay. So with the help of left indent, we can increase or decrease the space between left margin and written text, and with the help of right indent we can manage the space between right hand side margin and text, where from up to which we have written. For example, here you can see this one, this one the space for indent, and then hanging indent. You can see in your book also hanging indent is one thing is hanging and another thing is going around that very hanging object or hanging indent. Now let's see question number 11. What do you mean about what do you know about header and footer in MS Word? So what are a header and footer? Header means the upside and the footer means downside. Here in the downside I have in my computer I have taskbar, and in the upside we have different headings. Here we can say probable question for 402 for 2021. So what are header and footers? So let's see. Header and footers include information like page number, date, time of a book, chapter name, author's name, etc. So these are the things that are written in header and footer. In a document, the information which appears at the top, whatever the written in the top of the page is known as header, and the information which appears in the bottom margin of the page is known as footer. Now let's see question number 12. Differentiate between the toggle key and the sticky key. What are toggle key and what are sticky keys? See, the first one is toggle key. The caps lock, num lock and scroll lock keys are known as toggle key. So you know now you are having the knowledge that what is this toggle key. Toggle key is this one. These keys are known as toggle key: caps lock, num lock and then scroll lock. Okay, and the toggle key is an accessibility features designed for users with vision impairment. If someone have problem in watching the things or seeing anything, this is for them. User with the vision impairment or cognition disability. When toggle key are on, when we set it on, then what happens? The computer provides sound cues when the locking keys like caps lock, num lock, etc. are pressed. When we press such type of key, then automatic beep sound is start coming from the computer. It comes at once when we use such type of key. Not it continues to beep, but it beep at the time when the keys are pressed. So toggle key is the features by which those people who are having problem in vision, they can use this for writing purpose or for doing anything with the help of shortcut keys like this one, num lock, then caps lock, and some more keys here, scroll lock. Okay, so these are the different locks. Now let's see another question. Okay, here it was num lock and scroll lock. A scroll lock is there. 2 times the answer has been written. Now sticky key. The second was sticky key. What are sticky keys? A sticky key is also accessibility features to help Windows user with physical disabilities. For example, if someone has a problem in pressing the key, this sticky key, by using this sticky key, what happens? By serializing and defining a single keystroke instead of requesting user to press multiple keys at the same time. So we people use Control plus Z, Control plus Y, and sometimes we need to use 3 keys like Control, Shift and then plus sign and control minus sign for writing superscript, subscript. So in that case we need not, if we define a sticky key, if we set a sticky key, then we need not to press all the 3 or 4 buttons at once for doing the work. We can have macros or we can define a key called a sticky key, using which it will understand that if someone is pressing 2 or 3 times the same key, uh, or 2 or 3 times at once, or pressing one key at the same time, computer analyze that one key is whether defined for 3 types of key or not. If it is defined, then your computer will work accordingly. Now let's see next question, question number 13. What is the use of clip art in MS Word? What is clip art? Clip art is a collection of picture and images. In MS Word you can see a collection of pictures, that is called clip art, that can be imported into document or another program. It can be used from anywhere, in our document also and in another program also. Now what is clip art in MS Word? Clip art in MS Word is used to enhance the appearance of a document. It increases the it enhances the appearance, means with the help of clip art we can have different types of design on the paper, and we can uh, make some new logos or whatever the things by using clip art and some other tools in MS Word. Now let's see question number 14, and I think it is second last question. What is an operating system? So give an example of some popular operating system. This question is important and easy also. An operating system or the OS is a software that communicates with the hardware and allows other program to run. So it helps in running of all the programs and all the hardware. So it is the main software without which we cannot access our computer, we cannot do anything with the computer without operating system. Some popular operating system are Windows 10, then Mountain Lion, then Linux, etc. Now let's see question number 15, and it is the last question, descriptive question, after which we can have some one word question answer. What is meant by the effective communication discussed? So what are the things that we need to consider in effective communication? What is effective communication? Effective communication means you are explaining the things and people are understanding it very well. So effective communication is defined as the ability to convey information to other effectively and efficiently. Means you are telling someone and someone is really understanding you what you are telling. That is called effective communication. Another thing, in other word, effective communication means in different word, in my own word we can say that it is a way of conveying our message information to other in clear and precise way. Precise means what? To the point, not something more and not something less. Some of the factors that determine the effective communication in oral communication are, for example, if you are talking orally, you may have pace. That is, what is pace? Pace means you are talking slowly or fastly. Okay. Clarity in pronunciation means if you have to practice it before telling someone or reading in the class, and then you can have proper pronunciation of the words that you speak. Then choices or choice of word. You should have here in oral communication, to make the communication effective, you need to have some oral clarity, or it is important to be clear in your communication. Then fluency. What is fluency? Means you need to speak continuously or without any interruption, or without any thought, or some without failing to explain. Okay, so fluency is such thing, and it is the thing that by which we can speak with ease, means comfortably we can talk to anyone if we are fluent in our language. Suppose that you are fluent in English, you can talk with your friends and your teachers fluently, then it is called effective communication for you. So you should do effective communication in your class. Now let's see uh, part of this answer is part of question number 15. So accuracy, while length of the communication refers to simplicity, provide and point speaking. Similarly, there are 7 C's for effective written communication. So these were the talk about the oral communication. Now let's see what is written communication. In written communication, we need to again have we need to clear, then correct, and then completed, then concrete. It should be concrete means what? Means you should speak with confidence. Don't be in dilemma that whether it will happen or not, or it is correct or incorrect. That is called concrete. And then concise means to the point, and then consideration, what are the things that we need to consider at the time of speaking. And the seventh one is courteous, means how you are careful for others. Okay, so these were the 15 questions that are important. Some more questions, 2 more questions I need to give you, and after explaining one word answer I am going to give you now. So keep patience and see. I am explaining you all the questions that are coming in the examination. So the question number 1 is, a blank is a group of words that forms a unit written in a sentence but is incomplete sentence. And the answer is phrases. Phrases do not have the complete meaning, but when it is used in sentence it have the meaning. Now second one is exercises help in. What exercise help in? If you are doing exercise, it will build immunity and proper functioning of the body organ. Means your immunity power will get stronger, get strength with the help of exercise. And it also help in proper functioning of the organ system. Then question number 3 is, mention brief meditation brings a sense of. What does meditation does? Meditation, with the help of meditation we can have the self awareness. We can know about ourselves with the help of meditation. Now question number 4, the blank option is used to change the style of the text. Here we need to have font style option. By using font style option we can change the style of the text. And question number 5 is, what type of software is an operating system? So operating system is a type of system software. There are some more system software that you need to learn from your book. You go through the book and see it, and then comment and tell me whether you are knowing or not. The communication that happens in the absence of oral and composed word is, what are the things that happens without word? That is non-verbal communication. Means to say, voice communication means you are speaking but you are not writing. That is non-verbal communication. Now question number 7 is, the sentence which asks question is what we call the asking sentence, that is interrogative sentence. And then the 8th number is, blank allow you to place the text behind an image or in front of an image or around an image. And the answer is text wrapping. With the help of text wrapping you can write anywhere on the picture, or you can set the picture outside, or you can set the picture tight to have the text written beside it. Now question number 9 is, the shortest key to zoom in and zoom out is. What is zoom in, zoom out? Means making the things bigger or making the things smaller in just view. So the answer is control plus key, and then control plus minus key. Don't be confused. This plus key is on the keyboard and this minus key is also on the keyboard, but we have set this plus after control in anywhere by our own. Now let's see question number 10. The sort the start magnifier option is used to open. So the start magnifier option is used to open magnifier, and the filter key is used to what does the filter key does? Recognize the multiple key pressed as a single key press. So many key press will record only single key press if we apply the filter key in our computer. Then 12 number, IP stand for what? That is Internet Protocol. And then question number 13. A set of rules used for communication between computers is known as protocol. It is with the help of protocol two computers are connected with each other. Then wireless or Wi-Fi is a way of connecting to the internet wirelessly, means without wire we can connect internet with the help of Wi-Fi. And the question number 15 is hub are known as dumb switches. Okay, so these were the questions that are coming in the examination, or some question may comes in different forms, or some question may vary, but many of the questions will come in the examination. So go through it and read it properly. Let's see some two more questions. Two questions are added after the setting of the question. So let's see. So two more question is, what are the advantages of e-shopping? What are the advantages? You can think in your mind and you can write by yourself. See, by e-shopping we save time and effort. Without going to the market, without seeing things in the market, you can have access on your mobile from anywhere. So it saves the time and effort. The convenience of shopping at home. We can shop or we can purchase from home also, or when we are going anywhere, and then if we are sitting in bus or train, then we can have this facility of shopping. And then availability of wide variety or a range of products. There are so many products in online. Good discount is also there, means we can have too much discount from the market in comparison to market. Then availability of detailed information about the product. We can have all the information that are required to know the product. We can compare various model. Here you can compare the cost also. Now let's see question number 17. See, global warming. What is global warming? You need to write a paragraph on global warming. So let's see what is global warming. So global warming is a global issue. It is not the issue of a country, but every country or whole world think to reduce this global warming. So it is a global issue. Global warming is the increase in the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. So what happens in global warming? Earth's atmosphere temperature increases. It is caused by the rise in the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. When the carbon dioxide increases, then it causes the heating of the earth, because it traps the sunlight and it do not allow to escape in the night time the heat that is received from the sun. So here atmosphere, which lead to the increase in temperature. Global warming has been accelerated due to the mass deforestation activity by man. Man has cut the forest, due to which carbon dioxide being consumed by the trees and plants are in the atmosphere, and this is increasing the global warming or increasing the temperature. Plant use carbon dioxide to prepare food and release oxygen as a byproduct. So if we have enough plant, they will absorb the excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and decrease the rate of global warming to some extent. Means to say, if we plant more tree, then carbon dioxide may reduce and global warming may stop. planting more trees can reduce the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere and will result in decrease in the global warming that I explained to you already. Now the second topic is entrepreneur. Whatever you want to write, you can write. So what is entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is the act of being an entrepreneur. Means entrepreneur or entrepreneurship are related with each other. Entrepreneurship means being an entrepreneur means an entrepreneur is the person who takes the risk and manages the business. So such type of accessing or such type of processing is known as entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is an act of being an entrepreneur or the owner of or the manager of a business enterprises who who by risk and initiative attempt to make profit. So entrepreneur are the businessmen who want to make profit by taking risk and initiative. Entrepreneurs act as manager. They may be manager and oversee the launch and growth of an enterprise. Means the company or the enterprise, whether it is growing or not, these all are controlled, or this all the decision making is done by the entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurship is the process by which either an individual or the team identify a business opportunity and acquire and deploy the necessary resources required for its exploitation. So whatever the resources available, that is exploited for making profit, and a businessman always see the opportunity and take the opportunity and bring the product according to the situation. So for the entrepreneur, it is important to have knowledge about the economic and political environment, more particularly about the economic policies of the government. So government make the policies for businessmen, so those things should be known by the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship thus involves taking risk. So in short, we can say that it is a type of business or entrepreneurship are the person who takes or start the business by taking the risk and essential investment under the condition of uncertainty. There is condition of uncertainty means whether the profit will be done or not, it is in dilemma. But entrepreneurship always take the risk and think about the profit making. At the same time, it is connected with the innovation, planning and taking decision so as to increase the productivity in the industry, business and agriculture, etc. It thus plays a key role in the process of economic development. So entrepreneur or the entrepreneurship is just important part of our society because it helps or it plays an important role in keeping the process of economic development. Now see the last question of the day. It is question number 18. Explain any one method of starting the accessibility. So one method, I have given you the three methods. The first one is following the steps to start all program accessories, then system tools and control panel. The second one, we can use control window logo key plus U to open the ease of access center. And the third one is we can click on window start button, then the control panel option will be displayed in the right of the start menu. Hover the mouse over means to put the mouse there over the control panel option and click on it. So like this you can remember this thing, and some more questions for next exam I will give you. For final exam I will also make the video. Keep watching and learn things. If you have any problem, you can write me in the comment. Thank you students. Bye bye.